Hi, how's it going? Today we're gonna get stretchers ready for canvas to be stretched on them. This isn't typically the way I do it. Usually I make my own stretcher, which I guess is technically a strainer, but this is for a friend. She wants me to stretch her canvas, so I said I would, because I'm that kind of a guy. First thing we gotta do is square it up. I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll put the cross pieces on, these things. Put them together. They come with little clips, little plastic clips, really high class kind of stuff. Plastic. I'll show you how to do that. Let's do it. It's going to be really fun. First thing we'll do is we'll use the framing square. I'll show you what to do with that. We're going to check corners for square because that's what we want to do first. Let's make sure that everything's nice and square before we put anything else on it. And I'll show you another way that you can do that. Tape measure. Let's get to it. First thing is with the framing square. We'll take that, we'll put that on the corner. You can do it on the outside or the inside, doesn't really matter. But you can see how this doesn't touch. And on the inside, you have this big gap right here. So that means it needs to be racked. It's out of square. So we'll just tweak that over. Get it to square. Another way to do this is with a tape measure. What you want to do is make sure that everything is the same, every dimension. So that's 48, that's 48, 48, and 48. What you want to do is go from corner to corner. So we've got 67 and around 13/16 and 67 and 13/16. So now we know it's square. As long as your numbers are the same, then you know it's going to be square. We can look at it with this. Square. We're good to go. Next thing we want to do is find the center of these, because the center of this will match up with our center mark. So let's go around really quick. 48, 48, so the center point is going to be 24. So let's go through and mark that really quick. "24, make a mark. Put a screw in the slot. You don't want to tighten it too much. You want it in there kind of loose. So I did this one with the notch up. So this one I want to do with the notch down, because they go like this. So put these two together, this, we'll put them in, and then we're going to line them up, center point with our marks, and then we're going to screw them off. Mark, mark. And away we go. That's all you gotta do. I'll tighten these top ones up. Put the side ones in. Just to not do these until the canvas is stretched, but I don't think that's a good idea. You want to get them in there, get them in there. For this next step, you need some canvas. Roll of canvas that I have. This is 6-foot canvas. This is a 4x4, 48-inch stretcher. So we have a 6-foot canvas. I'm going to trim it to size. You want to make sure you got enough that you can pull it over This extra stuff we'll trim off later. Just a little bit, you know, so you can grab it and yank it over. So then I'm gonna cut it. Very important that you have nice scissors. And I don't wanna cut this thing all the way down. Just make a little cut, take this off, and we tear the fabric. So you got a little bit hanging over here. Flip that over. We got a lot over here, so we're gonna have to cut that. Okay, now we have the canvas cut to size. What we want to do is start stretching it. The tool you're going to need is a stapler and some stretching pliers. I'm not sure if that's what they're called, but that's what I call them. Here's a stapler. This thing is awesome. Just a 18-volt Makita battery-powered stapler. It's great. This is not a product sponsor. The other thing you need is a pair of these. Grab the canvas in there, you can stretch it. Here's a smaller pair. You gotta have these, otherwise your hands are gonna hurt. Instead of using the battery powered, most awesome stapler tool ever, this baby, you can use one of these. It's a little harder on the forearms. But yeah, ow, that just hit me in the face. Yeah, so this or this, whatever you got, whatever works, works. Okay, first thing you want to do is make sure you're pretty squared up to the canvas. And the way you do that is you take a ripped side. It's frayed, you can see I ripped not a cut side, but the rip side, and kind of want to feel that you're at about the same spot on both sides, which is pretty good. And then the other stuff is long. It's long, kind of long enough. Line her all up. Then you want to start in the middle with one staple. Come over to the other side. Pull it nice and tight. So you see that little crease in the middle there. Put a staple in there. You come over to here. You see that V right there? You get that V in there. And then put a staple in it. And the same thing over here. Grab it, pull it nice and tight. Bend it over. Put a staple in. Next thing is these. Grab it, pull it, and you can kind of look at the weave. You want to make sure you're staying somewhat constant. Just ran out of staples. Staples. I'm going to go to either side of that first staple you put in. I'm going to stretch it pretty even. Go to the other side. You just keep going and going and going and going until you're done. Okay, so I just trimmed the edge with scissors. Got it nice. You can cut it and rip it, but instead I did it with the scissors because I know this little old lady that I stretch canvases for. She's so sweet. She yells at me if I have frayed edges, which isn't annoying at all. And she also yells at me about my corners. So we're gonna do the corners next. It always takes me a while to remember how to do them. So yeah, we'll do those next. Okay, so what you do with the corners is take this, you wanna line it up so you're pretty well aligned here, bend it up, get this back in here, that fold it over like that, and then staple it without stapling your fingers. There you have it, stretch canvas. It's ready for gesso.